What if I told you that the most terrifying places in the universe aren't black holes or supernovas, but planets? Worlds so strange, so hostile, that they defy every rule of physics. Places where molten iron rains from the sky, glass storms slash through the air at 5,000 miles per hour, and oceans are made not of water, but lava. In 2022, something extraordinary happened. At Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona, a team of NASA-affiliated astronomers detected a planet unlike anything ever seen before, a world that seems to rewrite the laws of planetary science. They called it TOI 3757b, a gas giant roughly 1.5 times larger than Jupiter, but with a density so bizarre it can only be described as a cosmic marshmallow. This strange world orbits its star in an eccentric, elongated path, sometimes drifting far into the frozen dark, then swinging terrifyingly close to its sun. Each time it nears the star, violent bursts of radiation strip away its atmosphere, whipping it into frothy waves of vapor, just like egg whites beaten into meringue. But as strange as TOI 3757b is, it's only the beginning. Because scattered across our galaxy are worlds that push imagination to the edge. Planets darker than coal, heavier than metal, glowing from within, or raining molten glass sideways at hurricane speed. Today, we'll journey to the most horrifying exoplanets NASA has ever found, worlds that make hell itself look tame. The first stop on our galactic nightmare tour, Trace 2b, the darkest planet in the known universe. Trace 2b is about 750 light-years away from Earth, but even if you could somehow look directly at it, you wouldn't see a thing. It's nearly invisible, because it absorbs 99% of all light that touches it. To put that in perspective, the blackest coal on Earth absorbs only about 95% of light. This planet swallows almost everything. Scientists don't even fully understand how it's possible. It orbits its star at a blistering distance, just 4 million kilometers away, 10 times closer than Mercury is to our Sun. Yet despite being so close to a glowing star, it reflects almost nothing. Its darkness remains one of astronomy's most haunting mysteries. But Trace 2b's shadowy reign might have competition. Enter Gliese 504b, a planet that completely defies the logic of gas giants. It's located about 57 light-years away in the constellation Virgo. From what scientists can tell, it shouldn't glow, and yet it does. Unlike Trace 2b, which devours light, Gliese 504b seems to produce its own. The entire planet emits a soft pinkish-purple glow, like a fading ember. That's because it's still young, so young, in fact, that it hasn't yet cooled off since forming. Astronomers estimate it's still radiating leftover heat from its birth, glowing like molten metal fresh from the forge. Imagine that, a planet that glows from within, yet floats in the cold dark of space. And yet, the universe always finds a way to outdo itself. Somewhere about 42 light-years from Earth, another world hides beneath endless oceans, a planet known as GJ 1214b. For years, scientists wondered if water-rich planets could exist beyond our solar system. Then this discovery answered that question with a resounding yes. GJ 1214b is 3 times larger than Earth, and an incredible 10% of its entire mass is made of water. By comparison, all the oceans on Earth account for less than 0.05% of our planet's mass. The oceans of GJ 1214b could be as deep as 1,600 kilometers. Deeper than Mount Everest is tall, deeper than anything we can imagine. To put it in perspective, Earth's Mariana Trench, the deepest point on our planet, only goes down about 11 kilometers. If humanity has only explored 5% of our own oceans, imagine the mysteries lurking in a world made entirely of water. What kind of life, or terror, could dwell in those lightless depths? But don't expect every ocean world to be calm and blue. Some are oceans of fire. Kepler 10b, about 560 light-years away, is one of the most brutal planets ever discovered. Its surface temperature can reach 1,500 degrees Celsius, turning the entire world into a sea of molten lava. It's a place where the ground itself moves like waves, glowing red from intense heat. The planet is 5 times heavier than Earth and made primarily of metal, heated iron that gives its burning seas a terrifying crimson glow. If you could stand there, you'd see rivers of fire stretching to the horizon, and the sky above would shimmer with plasma. Many believe this is what the ancients might have imagined when they spoke of hell. But what if hell wasn't just a myth? What if it's out there, burning in real time? Some legends, it seems, have echoes in the stars. Ancient civilizations dreamed of a place made entirely of gold, the lost city of El Dorado. They could never have imagined that far beyond our skies, a real-world counterpart might exist, a planet made of diamond. This shimmering world is about 4,000 light-years away and roughly 5 times bigger than Earth. Scientists believe it's composed mostly of carbon, but under such immense pressure that the carbon atoms have compressed into crystal, forming a planet-sized diamond. Once upon a time, this planet was a star, part of a binary system with a white dwarf and a pulsar. When the pulsar consumed its partner in a violent supernova, the white dwarf's remains compressed, creating the glittering cosmic jewel we now see. A literal diamond in the sky, the remnants of a dead star, shining like a galactic tombstone. And yet, even that brilliance pales next to the next world, a planet that rains molten metal. WASP 76b is one of the most disturbing exoplanets ever found. One side of the planet is locked in eternal daylight, facing its star at all times, while the other side remains in perpetual night. The sunlit side reaches temperatures of 2,400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize iron. The vapor then drifts into the cooler night side, where it condenses and falls as iron rain. That's right, metal literally rains from the sky. If you ever stood beneath those clouds, droplets of liquid iron would hiss as they hit the ground, glowing and burning everything in sight. And while that might sound like the worst storm imaginable, another planet goes even further. HD 189733b, a deep blue gas giant, may look beautiful from afar, but its beauty hides horror. The temperature there is about 850 degrees Celsius, and its atmosphere is full of microscopic silicate particles, the same material that forms glass. When those particles heat up, they melt and condense into droplets, which then rain down as shards of glass, carried by winds blowing at 8,700 kilometers per hour. That's 5,400 miles per hour, faster than a bullet. Imagine standing in a storm where molten glass rains sideways, cutting through everything in its path. Hell doesn't seem so bad anymore. But there's one world that makes all of these look almost gentle, a place scientists call KELT 9b, or simply, the planet from hell. Orbiting just 650 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus, KELT 9b is the hottest planet ever discovered. Its surface burns at 4,300 degrees Celsius, hotter than many stars. A year there lasts just 36 hours. Because it orbits its sun so closely, it completes a full revolution in less than 2 days. At those temperatures, molecules can't even hold together. They're ripped apart by the sheer heat. Scientists believe that KELT 9b might eventually burn itself to death, vaporizing into cosmic ash. But even as it dies, it won't fade quietly. Because in the depths of space, there's always something stranger waiting. But if you think you've seen the worst the universe can offer, we're not done yet. Because far beyond KELT 9b lies a world so strange, it bends both logic and imagination. Meet HD 80606b, the planet with the most violent weather swings ever recorded. Most planets, including Earth, orbit their stars in roughly circular paths. But HD 80606b follows a highly elliptical orbit, stretching so far out that for most of its year, it drifts in freezing darkness. Then, once every 111 days, it dives inward toward its star, and that's when the horror begins. In a matter of hours, the planet's atmosphere surges by over 700 degrees Celsius. Massive shock waves rip through the clouds, hurricane-force winds roar across its skies, and the entire world essentially bursts into a temporary inferno. It's as if the planet briefly visits hell, then retreats back into the cold void to recover. Imagine a place where the seasons aren't measured by months, but by death and rebirth. And yet, the universe gives us even stranger contrasts. Because where HD 80606b lives in extremes of heat and cold, another world sits in eternal twilight, tidally locked, trapped between day and night forever. That world is 55 Cancri E, often called the infernal super-Earth. It's twice Earth's size and 8 times its mass, but what makes it truly terrifying is its lava oceans, endless molten seas that flow across half its surface. The day side glows bright red, while the night side remains shrouded in darkness. Between them lies a thin, deadly border, a molten horizon where rock constantly melts, evaporates, and rains down again like fiery snow. If you could stand on that boundary line, you'd see one side of the sky burning with eternal fire, and the other side lost in freezing black. But perhaps the most unsettling thought of all is that these planets may not be rare. They may be common. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, launched in 2009, revealed that for every star in our galaxy, there are at least 1 or 2 planets orbiting it. That means there could be hundreds of billions of worlds out there, and if only a fraction of them resemble these cosmic nightmares, the universe is far stranger than we ever imagined. Yet, some of the strangest discoveries are not violent, but eerie. Take GJ 436b, a world that literally defies gravity itself. It's a Neptune-sized planet orbiting its star so closely that it should have long since evaporated, and yet, it remains, surrounded by a vast, comet-like tail of hydrogen gas stretching millions of kilometers into space. Astronomers call it the planet that shouldn't exist. It's losing its atmosphere in real time, dissolving before our very eyes, a slow cosmic death, captured by telescopes across the world. Every orbit, it bleeds a little more into the void. And as haunting as that sounds, there's something deeply beautiful about it, a planet caught between survival and destruction, glowing softly as it fades away. But then there are planets that don't just die quietly, they explode. In 2023, NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, TESS, spotted evidence of a planet being consumed by its own star. Over 12,000 light-years away, scientists observed a red giant devouring a nearby world, the first time humanity has ever seen such an event in action. The planet's final moments must have been unimaginable. As it spiraled inward, its atmosphere stripped away, its crust melted, and its core vaporized, all before being swallowed completely. The star flared briefly, brighter than ever, as if exhaling its final cosmic meal. It's a glimpse of our own distant future. Because one day, billions of years from now, our sun will expand into a red giant too, and when it does, Earth will share that same fate. It's strange to think that every beautiful sunset we see might be a preview of our world's eventual destruction. But even in death, planets leave behind clues, remnants that tell us stories of how violent and creative the cosmos can be. For example, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope recently captured the atmosphere of a new exoplanet called LHS 475b, a rocky world almost identical in size to Earth. At first glance, it looks promising, even familiar. But it orbits its star so closely that a year lasts only 2 days, and its temperature is so high that even its rocks could melt. And yet, scientists are obsessed with it. Why? Because it represents what Earth might have looked like in its infant years, a molten, volatile world before life emerged. In that sense, LHS 475b is like a time machine, a mirror reflecting our planet's distant past. Maybe that's what makes these terrifying planets so important. They're not just cosmic horrors, they're teachers. They show us the range of what's possible in the universe, and how narrow our own slice of habitability really is. For every peaceful blue planet like Earth, there might be millions more trapped in fire, darkness, or chaos. And yet, somehow, we exist right in the middle, in the fragile balance between extremes. That balance is what allows life to bloom. Still, the question remains, could life also exist in these extremes? Could something, anything, survive in the burning skies of KELT-9b, or the icy oceans of GJ-1214b? We used to think not. But the more we learn about extremophiles here on Earth, microbes that thrive in boiling acid, under crushing pressure, or deep within radioactive cores, the more we realize how flexible life can be. So maybe, just maybe, even the most horrible planet might not be dead, but simply alive in a way we can't yet comprehend. Think about it. Somewhere out there, a creature could be swimming through liquid metal or gliding across oceans of methane. To them, Earth might seem just as deadly and alien as their world does to us. In that sense, the universe doesn't create horrible planets. It simply creates different homes. And maybe, the real horror isn't what's out there, it's how little we understand of it. Still, NASA continues to search. With telescopes like JWST and the upcoming Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, we're entering a new age of discovery, one where we might finally see not just the shapes, but the surfaces and skies of these distant worlds. We'll witness the glow of alien sunsets. We'll detect the chemical fingerprints of unknown atmospheres. And one day, we might find a world that feels strangely familiar, one that isn't just habitable, but inhabited. Until then, the universe will keep surprising us. Because for every terrifying planet we discover, we also uncover something awe-inspiring, proof that reality itself is far more creative than fiction. But for every world we've seen, there are billions more we haven't. Each point of light in the night sky, every star, could host its own family of planets. And among those planets could be another Earth, or another hell. The universe doesn't pick favorites. It forges worlds from chaos, some into paradises, others into nightmares. Yet, in all this vastness, there's one haunting truth we've barely begun to explore. Right now, humanity's total list of confirmed exoplanets is just over 5,000, a mere fraction of what's truly out there. In the Milky Way alone, there may be 100 billion planets waiting to be found. That means that the most horrifying, most beautiful, and most mysterious worlds are almost certainly still hidden, orbiting unseen suns, waiting for our telescopes to find them. And what we've already discovered. That's just the tutorial level of the universe's madness. Take Corot 7b, for example. It's only 1.5 times the size of Earth, but it orbits its star so closely that a year lasts just 20 hours. The day side is a furnace of 2,000 degrees Celsius, while the night side drops to minus 200 degrees Celsius. The difference is so extreme that the planet's rock literally vaporizes on one side, drifts through space, and resolidifies as stone rain on the other. Yes, it rains rocks. Imagine a place where mountains melt every morning and reform at night. It's not science fiction, it's real, and it's out there right now. Then there's PSRB 1620-26b, nicknamed the Methuselah planet. This world is 13 billion years old, nearly 3 times older than Earth itself. It formed near the dawn of the galaxy, orbiting 2 dead stars, a white dwarf and a pulsar. It's ancient, cold, and utterly alien, a survivor of cosmic time, still circling the remnants of suns long gone. If planets could tell stories, Methuselah would be a book older than the universe we know. And perhaps the most haunting world of all is HD 131399 UP, a planet with 3 suns. If you lived there, you'd never see true night. The sky would always be a dance of light, one sun rising as another sets, the third painting the horizon in constant twilight. Your shadows would twist and overlap endlessly, and your days would never end. A paradise, maybe, or a prison of eternal light. The line between beauty and horror, it seems, is thin in the cosmos. Even among all this chaos, the laws of nature hold steady, but our imagination struggles to keep up. Every time NASA thinks it's seen the limits of what a planet can be, another discovery breaks the rules. Planets can be lighter than styrofoam, like TOI 3757b. They can be denser than iron, like Kepler 10b. They can glow, freeze, melt, rain metal, or exist entirely in perpetual dusk. Each one is a reminder that we humans, confined to one fragile world, are only beginning to grasp the diversity of creation. And yet, it's that very fragility that gives us perspective. When we look at these infernal worlds, places of fire and storm, eternal cold and endless dark, we're reminded of how lucky we are. Earth exists in a perfect balance, not too hot, not too cold, not too violent. Our atmosphere shelters us from radiation. Our magnetic field shields us from solar winds. Our distance from the sun allows liquid water to exist, the foundation of life. If we were just a few percent closer or farther, our planet could have been one of those hellish worlds, a failed experiment in cosmic chemistry. Maybe that's the greatest lesson the universe teaches us. Our comfort is not common. It's miraculous. So when we gaze into the night sky, we're not just looking at distant points of light, we're looking at billions of alternate realities. Worlds that could have been ours, but aren't. Somewhere, there might be an Earth where the oceans are acid, the air is poison, and the mountains bleed lava. Another where nights never end, or where the sky rains diamonds. Every one of those worlds tells a story of how thin the line truly is between creation and destruction. But our story is still being written. Because as our technology evolves, we're not just watching anymore. We're reaching. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is already peering into the atmospheres of distant worlds, detecting carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, the ingredients of life. And when Webb's successor, the Roman telescope, launches later this decade, it'll go even further, capturing direct images of planets orbiting distant stars, maybe even detecting signs of alien biology. We are the first generation in history to see other worlds in detail. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be the first to discover we're not alone. But as we search the stars, we must remember something crucial, that in the vast theater of the universe, we are both spectators and actors. What we find out there might change everything we believe about life, about destiny, and about the meaning of home. The universe is not just vast, it's wild, full of fire and ice, wonder and terror. From planets that rain molten iron, to worlds darker than the void itself, NASA's discoveries remind us that reality is far stranger than fiction could ever dream. And yet, in all that strangeness, one truth shines brighter than any star. We are part of this universe, born from its dust, sustained by its light, and drawn forever to its mysteries. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, out there are worlds of unimaginable beauty and horror. But here, on this fragile blue dot, life found a way. And maybe, that's the most extraordinary discovery of all. If you enjoyed this journey through the cosmos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Because the more we look up, the more we understand just how incredible our universe really is. But even as we marvel at the extremes of the cosmos, one thought refuses to fade. If such terrible beauty exists light years away, what else might be hiding in the darkness between the stars? Maybe somewhere out there, another civilization is looking up at their night sky, wondering the same thing. Maybe they've already found worlds like ours, and whispered the same question into their alien winds. Are we alone? The truth is, we don't know. But for the first time in history, humanity is beginning to search with eyes powerful enough to find the answer. Every discovery, from the boiling wastelands of KLT9b to the diamond heart of 55 Cancri E, brings us one step closer to understanding how rare and how precious life really is. Each world is a mirror, showing us a different version of what could have been, a reflection of fate, possibility, and cosmic chance. When we explore those distant infernos, we aren't just cataloging planets, we're exploring ourselves. Our curiosity, our hunger to know what lies beyond. The very fire that pushed us from caves to stars. And maybe that's why NASA's discoveries feel both terrifying and beautiful. They remind us that we are small, yes, but not insignificant. We are capable of understanding the universe that created us. We are the universe, learning to see itself. So, as the beacons of our telescopes reach further into the dark, remember, each signal that returns isn't just data. It's a whisper from the cosmos, saying, "There is more. Keep going." And we will. Because that's what humans do. We look into the abyss, and instead of fear, we find wonder. Out there are planets of glass and fire, of metal storms and eternal light. But only here, on this fragile blue world, does the universe dream of itself. So, keep wondering, keep watching, because every night sky is a reminder that somewhere beyond the darkness, new worlds are waiting to be found. If you enjoyed exploring the most horrifying planets NASA has ever discovered, tap that like button, subscribe for more cosmic journeys, and turn on notifications. Because our next adventure will take you even further beyond the edge of everything we know. The universe is stranger than fiction. Subscribe for more.